It is at least.
I'm just very unobservant.
Which name is rapper Sean Combs better known by?
Well, there's a few.
Okay.
I mean, this
All right,
question's easy. It's P. Diddy,
Okay.
Puff Daddy.
Yeah. Okay. I was
Diddy
like, I
at
don't
one
know if this is common knowledge, but it definitely is.
Yeah. This
That's
was
what's funny about this
probably
question.
the
There's
easiest
like,
trivia
All right,
question
all
you've
right.
ever.
yeah. Never mind. Let's do a science one. Actually, this one is also kind of easy, but pure water has a pH level of around.
7?
Boom. Yes, 7. I realized as soon as I asked it, I was like, maybe this isn't that easy.
No, that one I think is a good question. Like I
Yeah.
knew the answer, but it wasn't one that everyone knows, I think.
It's something everyone was taught, but maybe not something that like
Yeah.
you remember.
Because it's like a base.
Yeah.
It's not
yeah.
acidic. That'd be a problem if the pH was like 2.
Oh, you froze. Oh no. Oh, he's back. Okay, hello.
Yo,
Yeah, we're back.
Karsten, what's up, buddy?
It's a base. Yeah. So anyway, thank you again, Scary Mommy, for the trivia this week. They honestly have better trivia questions than that app I was using. And they have so many, so I don't think we'll have any issue here.
Yeah.
We're here. It's a late night recording. Jeff.
Yeah, just watched the film for this week with my dad, who was interested in the film.
Was he? In what way?
Interested in that. He's like, why are we watching this?
Yeah. Has your dad seen the Predator movies?
No, I haven't
Okay.
either.
Neither have I.
Yeah, we'll get into that later, though.
Well,
But,
yeah.
Karsten, you have a big trip coming up.
I do have a big trip coming up. I guess that is the thing is like by the time this is out. Actually, by the time this is out, I'll still have a day to go.
Yeah.
By the time the
But
next
this
episode's
is the last.
out.
Yeah, we're recording. A little behind the scenes. We're recording the next episode before you leave,
Yep.
so you don't have to record them when you're gone.
Yes. Which, I would because I don't want to make it seem like I'm like I can't do
Karsten
that.
refused.
But I
said, please, Karsten, it'll be so much easier for my life if you record one episode when you're in Finland. And Karsten
even
said,
going.
no.
Yeah. Well, the thing is like I don't have a travel mic like you. You have that very convenient travel mic, and the smallest mic I have is that Yeti X.
Yeah.
Which is very heavy.
Here's the thing. There's a lot of valid I was, of course, joshing.
Jeffing, if you
I was
will.
jeffing. It's fine. But the travel might cost like $60.
Right. Yeah.
And you're taking a thousands of dollar trip.
See, I'd rather spend that $60 on the packing cubes that you
The
told me
packing
about,
cube.
which
Dude,
I'm
if
going to
you're
go
buying
get
$60
tomorrow.
packing cubes. You
Going
can get
on
them
a
cheaper.
mic. Yeah.
To be fair, my packing cube was like $60, so it's a really nice one.
I'm going to REI, so I assume it's going to be kind of.
Yeah. I've heard
they just
Eagle
jack up.
Creek is a good brand. I have
Okay.
Peak Design.
Good to know.
It's excellent.
Yeah. I got the second booster yesterday. That or 2 days ago, and we recorded a Patreon yesterday, and I was really lousy. But I actually, Jeff, I didn't say this on the episode, but I think recording the Patreon made me feel better. I felt really good by the end of the episode.
Yeah, that's what the Patreons are for.
That's what it's all about. Just
Yeah.
a few rounds of GeoGuessr with my friend
Yeah.
Jeff, and I'm back to normal.
Also, you ended on a heater on GeoGuessr.
Yes, but I played awful.
You destroyed
otherwise. Yeah.
The first two though, I was pretty solid, but that last one I just got murdered.
I feel like someone has asked this somewhere, but have you heard of this guy that's kind of
Rainbolt?
like, yeah, Rainbolt.
I knew where you were going right away.
He's kind of bringing GeoGuessr into the mainstream in a big way. And
because GeoWizard was like the first one to kind of like make it so some people were interested, but Rainbolt does it in this very digestible way where you're like, this is insane.
Right. Well, in all love to Tom Davies, he's the legend, but Rainbolt is very good at this game.
Yeah. See, Tom Davies is like plays it the way that you would assume it's played, where you're like, oh, this is a person who just like knows where different places look like, and they're good at
familiar
like identifying
with
clues.
Yeah.
Rainbolt remembers all of the different cars and different generations of camera and different, the like
angles of the camera.
Poles. Yeah. Like if high or low.
He's like, oh, it's low angle, it's Swiss.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
he identifies
how the fuck?
them within 1 second.
Yeah. He's kind of, it's kind of unsettling watching him play this game. I'm like, but the thing is, his YouTube videos have been showing up in my algorithm on YouTube now.
Yeah.
And I watch them because I'm like, this is research. This is me training without playing the game. But I don't retain any of the information because he just goes so fast. I don't know how he knows these things. Unless he's been playing nonstop.
Was that he pretty much played for hours a day for like 2 years straight.
Oh, man, Jesus Christ.
And like, so it was just real dedication.
Yeah, he deserves it, Yeah. He deserves it.
Is the Rift, is that in Montenegro?
Yes.
Or
You're talking
Croatia?
about the thing in the
the Rift in the sky.
Oh my God, I think it's Montenegro. Yeah. No, it is in Montenegro. That's the
North
one.
Montenegro,
that's so
right?
funny. We both picked up on that one because he did that one, and I was like, okay. I think it's also in Kenya, maybe, or maybe I'm wrong.
I think you're thinking of the Great Rift Valley, which is where they find all the fossils and early hominid remains.
That's probably what I'm thinking of. Yeah. Well, good for that guy. It's made me want to pick up GeoGuessr a bit more. I will say, and this is reading a little too into this, but all his viral videos. Actually, you know what? Scratch this. I'm not gonna get into this.
Were you gonna level some accusations?
Well, this is ridiculous. I don't want this to be taken seriously, so I don't even know if I want to say this because first
everyone
of all,
wants you to say it now. Well,
there was this. I'll explain. The thing is, in his most popular videos, he has this like Vivaldi song that's like do 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 do. It's like this classical song that is very high intensity. And I used to, in my streams, end every stream with that song playing in the background as I did like 10-second rounds, because it's really stressful, and that song pairs really well with it. And all his hit TikToks use that song.
So
and I'm just saying
that when you were streaming GeoGuessr, you think that Rainbolt caught a stream and nicked your idea for the song?
This could very well be the case.
I want someone to ask Rainbolt.
I want to find because it's such a specific song to play over GeoGuessr in high stress situations, which is what he's doing in these videos too, is like really quick rounds. And I'm just like, that was my and the thing is
a wonderful accusation.
Because I don't want it. This is why I don't want it to be taken seriously, because a few weeks ago when I called out that one channel that was blatantly ripping off a lot of my video ideas and thumbnails, some people were like, man, this is a stretch. But a lot of people defended me and were like,
wait, I didn't know about this at all. I missed this whole...
You missed this?
I missed this whole thing.
What? Did you not see my tweet on Twitter?
No.
Oh my. Okay. Well, I will briefly. It's definitely in the past now, and I don't want to bring more attention to it. But
for those who don't know,
there was one morning I woke up and a lot of people were sending me this channel that I will not name because I don't want to send any unwanted hate, even though there's already been a lot of hate directed towards them, and that's why I feel bad about this. They have thumbnails with like white backgrounds with the same font and videos called "What I Watched in June." Guy Ritchie ranked with like the same thumbnail style.
Right.
A Stranger Things thumbnail that has a picture of Vecna and it says why it's good, which is exactly what my Stranger Things thumbnail looked like. There is like calling it a stretch, but these, if you see them on the tweet, they're pretty similar. And so I made a tweet about it. And then I felt really bad because a lot of comments ended up on his videos that were like, "Hey, stop ripping off Karsten, stop!"
Yeah.
Because like at the end of the day, the videos were fine, and he was a very kind, like innocent person.
Yeah, just a big fan of Karsten.
Just a big fan. But I messaged him and was like, well, he messaged me first to apologize, and I was just like, it's fine. But I encourage you to try some other things out. And he, so this was like a big thing for like a day.
Wow, I missed this whole thing.
I swear, I thought because I feel like I always get a nice Jeff reply under my tweets, so I assumed you had seen this, but. No, it was. I
just have a bot that auto replies to all your tweets.
That's not compliment Jeffrey.
No, that's the one that compliments me 3 times a day every day.
The compliment Jeffrey bot is slowly deteriorating. I feel like some of the tweets
not slowly deteriorating. When I programmed it, I had the idea that I would go back later and flesh out the algorithm, and I never did. So it has a very small pool of things it can say. And it's been regurgitating the same things for like 4 or 5 years straight. I
read some of the tweets and they are just incomprehensible. Like
they're insane.
It's like Jeffrey is water because nice is kind.
Yeah, they're not the. I didn't spend a long time programming it.
Yeah. Anyway, that's that.
That's that. Now, I am kind of ripping off your YouTube channel as well on my YouTube channel by having your face on the thumbnails.
That's the same thing.
What if I make a video called "What I Watched This Karsten Rundquist"? And it's just like I just do a supercut of me staring at you during the podcast.
Every month you watch. Yeah, you're like. Every month I watched everything Karsten watched, and you just copy my Butterbox
and I'm like, and
diary.
Karsten thought this, and I just repeat verbatim what you said in your video, and I say, and I agreed.
Yeah,
did you ever do that for any papers you had to write in school, where you would just quote like an entire page of a book?
Oh yeah, I got in a lot of trouble in 8th grade where I apparently I did not do the whole what's it called, citations, right? Or it was plagiarism is what it was called. And my teacher failed me. Obviously, it was like a big paper, and he was like, "If this weren't 8th grade, you would be arrested." And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I didn't know."
You wouldn't be arrested.
I know, he really scared the shit out of me, and I was like, "Please."
Yeah.
So yeah, I did do a lot of that.
Yeah, I would cite it properly. What I did, though, because I only had to write one big paper the entire time I was in grad school, and it was for a class that I didn't even need to take. And I didn't realize there would be a 13-page paper at the end. And it was like the stupidest paper ever, where it was like something about sci-fi movies, and I had to like compare something. Man. Anyways, what I ended up doing was just quoting entire pages of Howard Zinn's, history of the U.S. and you got like, as Zinn said, in blah blah blah, and then just quote like 500 words.
Knowing DePaul, you probably did just.
I think I got like a B+ or A-, something like that.
My tip out there for anybody who doesn't have a lot to say but needs to reach the page limit on their essays in high school or college.
Oh, I know it's coming.
Is you highlight all the periods, and you bump up the size of the periods just a few points,
and now
and it just slightly branches.
And then another classic I loved was that you would make the space sizes like 1.1.
Yep.
So that the spaces were like imperceivably, but when over the course of a paper, it like makes it a whole half page longer.
It's not noticeable. Sometimes, Sometimes there were some periods where I was like, "That's a bit large," but for the most part, good.
Yeah. Did you ever have anyone call you out on it?
I was never called out for it. No,
someone's like, "These periods are gigantic."
Yeah, love what you have to say. The periods a little. Big.
I just wanted to really emphasize that was the end of the sentence.
Yeah. It's the sound of a period. Anyway.
Anyways, before we get into the movie, again, this is your last pod before the trip.
Yep.
Well, it's actually not, but it's the last one coming out before your trip. Which place are you most excited to go?
I am most excited to go to like the Old Town Stockholm. It's in like the center island or whatever that is. It just looks really beautiful, and I'm really excited about it.
Can confirm it is.
Yeah. I've heard that's like the spot to go. So very excited. I'll report back. I think I'm gonna do a
reindeer
vlog.
meatballs.
Okay, so you do because I really want to have reindeer.
I ate reindeer meatballs. They were pretty good.
I want to make sure they have them. Okay, cool, nice.
Yeah, I ate it like a couple blocks from the Nobel Museum.
Oh yeah, they have that there. Yeah,
I went there. It was kind of sort of interesting.
Okay. Would you recommend
okay.
Okay.
How much time do you have?
I'm gonna be kind of what's the word? Picky with my museums.
Yeah, I would say it's not a must go.
Yeah,
but it's not bad.
Definitely going to the Vasa Museum, that like shipwreck one.
Definitely, absolutely go to that.
I heard that's like the shit.
Yeah,
and then I'm gonna go to this photography museum.
I went to that too. That one's really good as well.
I heard it's really amazing.
That one was great. So
don't know if I'll go to ABBA, but I
did not do that. But the photography museum and the Vasa, which is like the big ship.
Yep.
Those are great. So definitely go there.
Hell yeah.
The photography one was the best photography museum I've ever been to.
That's what I've heard. I heard it's like it reshapes. It makes you appreciate photography a lot more, which is
and it's just the quality of the exhibition is so good. Like just how they contextualize it, and also just the quality of the actual like printing is really good.
Man, I'm excited. Sweden is gonna be cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of, I hope that this Sweden trip better help my traveling abilities, which
brings us
to today's sponsor.
Today's sponsor, BetterHelp.
And now a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. How well would you take care of your car if you had to keep the same one your entire life? That's how our brains work, so why don't we treat them that way?
How we take care of our minds affects how we experience life. It's important to invest time and care into keeping them healthy.
There are plenty of ways to support a healthy brain, like learning a new language or taking power naps. There's also BetterHelp Online Therapy. Now,
the power nap seems a lot easier than learning a new language, honestly.
Yeah, that's something you can bust out in like an hour or so.
Even quicker.
Depending
on how powerful your nap is.
Therapy is something that I have been a huge advocate for in the past. I've done therapy for years. I did it as young as like 12 years old. And
I did it even younger.
Wow. So yeah, it's something that no matter what age you are, no matter where you're at, even if there's not something that's immediately needs to be addressed, it's good to just have therapy as it's like a place to go when it comes to be that time, you know?
Yeah, I think, you have to find something that works for you, and it is a very helpful and mind-opening experience to do therapy.
I think everyone should at the very least try therapy at some point, because you never know what you're going to get out of it.
Yeah.
What I like about BetterHelp is that they offer online they have like video, phone, even live chat only therapy sessions, which is really convenient.
And also, if you're someone who's nervous about therapy, it just is a very easy entry.
Absolutely. Which, speaking of, if you don't want to like commit, it's much more affordable than in-person therapy. It's very accessible, like just entry point at the very least.
And also, you can get started incredibly fast. With BetterHelp, you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours.
It's amazing. Yeah. Now, our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/KCast. You want to read it again, Jeff?
Oh, yeah. Our listeners do get 10% off, Karsten, at BetterHelp. That's HELP.com/KCast.
We both said it, so that means you should try it.
KCast as in
Kangaroo.
KCAST.
Yes.
I wasn't going to do like a whole military
read
off there.
BetterHelp.com/KCast. Oh, that was great. We're back, and we're here to talk about the movie. I don't know. Prey. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try
Spelled
and segue.
Prey, not Pray. Which is I was thinking it was gonna be a very religious.
Yeah.
Film
No, nothing religious about this one.
A predator that attacks you if you're not praying.
Yeah.
That actually would be kind of like a good film.
I thought it was, when I heard there was a movie called Prey about a predator, I thought this was about the Catholic Church.
Oh my god. Yeah.
That's
That's I mean
now that's a Letterboxd review. No. Anyway, we're talking about Prey. This
Prey.
Prey. I'll read the synopsis. A skilled Comanche warrior protects her tribe from a highly evolved alien predator that hunts humans for sport, fighting against wilderness, dangerous colonizers, and this mysterious creature to keep her people safe. It's a 2022 film directed by Dan Trachtenberg. He did the Cloverfield movie, or Cloverfield Lane, which I never saw.
It's the one with John Goodman.
Yep.
Now, you know what I just learned, which is actually fascinating, and I kind of wish I knew this beforehand.
Yeah.
Prey is available to stream in English and the Comanche language.
Interesting. That's cool.
Yeah.
I was kind of there. There were a lot of moments where they were speaking it, and they didn't translate it. Which it's fine. I don't know if that was the point, but
yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, the Comanche Nation, had obviously quite a bit of say in this. I think. Were they producers?
I think so. I'm
Which
a little
is obviously good to see in a film like this, that you're not just stealing the culture and putting them up against an alien without their consent.
Right. Yeah.
So that's good.
No, I was kind of surprised about how well it handled that aspect of the movie, because the Predator films, and we both haven't seen them, but at least the recent ones don't have the best the one from 2018 is apparently really bad. And so I was just like, when I first heard about this movie, I'm like, that doesn't seem like it would do a good job.
Right. And being culturally
right
in sync with modern values.
Yeah. But it ended up being a pretty solid movie.
Yeah. I mean, throughout U.S. history, the main issue with Native American depictions in media is this concept of the noble savage.
Yeah.
Which is something, as I have a degree in anthropology, and we kind of learned a lot about this stuff. And it's just a way to dehumanize, other people, which is obviously what they did with slavery as well, where when you're, able to view a different, people as less than, then you can make yourself in your own mind higher than, and then any atrocities you commit, it's easy to kind of be like, well, they're essentially just animals.
Yeah.
So I think that first and foremost, this film does a good job of not at all doing that, where it's a very humanizing beginning of the film, which obviously is necessary when you have still some people who have kind of ingrained biases versus against certain people.
Yeah. That's a wow. Yeah. I was gonna ask what your thoughts are on how this film handled that, and just
it's always gonna be it's a good sign when the people it's about, who are an underrepresented group, when they have a say in it, is always a good sign.
Yeah, true. It was really a lot more than I was expecting with Predator movie, I mean, once again, don't know much about this franchise, but did not expect this movie.
Okay, getting into the film a bit more, one thing I do want to say is, while they did do a good job, I think, with representation and showing this culture, I think that for me the first half of the film was really boring. Like it was very thoughtfully done.
Yeah, yeah.
But as a film, it was boring.
See, I thought that is I definitely have issues with this movie. Yeah, and I think that's one of them is that it takes its time in a lot of spots, and not even just the beginning. In my opinion, I thought the middle was like it took a little bit to get where it needed to go.
Yeah, for sure. And a huge issue for me was just how bad the CGI was.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I absolutely, when the tension of a scene is 100% reliant on the audience buying a CGI animal, it never goes well.
Definitely.
And like there's the bear. Two specific scenes, where it's the bear and the lion.
Yeah. Well, just the CGI of the predator itself is like, is that what we're supposed to refer to it as?
Yeah, I think
the alien or the it's not great.
It's not great, but for me it was passable. And that's only because we have no real world reference. Mm-hmm. Right? So it's just like, oh, maybe this predators on their home planet just look weird.
Yeah.
But since we know what
a bear
real animals look like, and I'm like, they don't look like that.
Yeah, I honestly think the CGI stood out a lot to me because the film itself is shot really beautifully. In my opinion, at least, I think a majority of it looks like really nice. It's got a lot of like bird's eye view shots, like looking directly down, which I thought were really well done. And yeah, it just sucked. There was a specific scene where the predator gets like blood on him, and the blood is like floating in the air because the predator's, and it's like running through the weeds, and it looks just awful.
Dude, I just imagine the CGI artist like getting that is the shot that they need.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what?
So the blood
you
is
want the predator
running...
to be invisible, but the blood has to like go on the outline of him.
Right. Yeah.
Oh boy.
That's the thing is like it to kind of go off the fact that the beginning is very slow. It's kind of a gift and a curse because you get like this very humanistic beginning to the film that's like really grounds you, and you kind of forget that it's a Predator movie, and then there's like this shot of the spaceship like out of nowhere, and I'm like, oh,
so funny.
What the hell?
I know it's like I get what they were going for, with that shot, but it was funny.
Absolutely,
I did laugh at it.
Well, that's the thing that's the other thing is, and I actually think it does a good job at this. A lot of the film feels like it wants to be taken very seriously, which in a lot of ways it does and is. Yeah. But especially near the back half of the film, it starts to like goof it up a bit, and because obviously the predator's just going around killing people.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. It felt like two different movies, to be honest.
It really did. That's what I was thinking the whole time. Was like the first half and the second half, or even like the first 2/3 almost,
right?
Like the end, because one is like an action film that's actually shot pretty well, but I thought the action, even in the first two really bad CGI fight, action scenes, those were just bad. They were boring. Mm-hmm. Like it was not frenetic enough. It was just
definitely,
yeah. But so I did think that the actual Predator fight scenes were shot well and like engagingly edited.
Well, that's the thing. Like I guess like storytelling wise, it's like pretty good. Like it's a nice, tight, engaging story. Like I don't have a lot of issues with the movie itself. But yeah, a lot of the technical stuff got in the way. Also the acting. I didn't like the acting in this movie. And I don't know if I'm alone there, but I really didn't like it.
It was kind of weird.
It took me out way more than it should. Like, especially like a lot of the colonizers. It just felt like
the French guys.
The French guys, yeah. I was like, was this the only take they got of this?
Yeah,
because it doesn't feel like it's there. I thought the lead, she was great. I forget. I want to get her name right, but. I thought she was fantastic. and really like carried it because it was kind of like we're kind of following her the entire time. Amber Midthunder, also in Hell or High Water apparently, but I thought she was great. But yeah, I don't know. The performances were unfortunate. It's such a frustrating movie, to be honest. I liked it, but it's like, I don't know. I wish I saw this in a theater. Because I feel like just the sound design, which is probably the highlight for me, would have just been so...
The old, like, Predator throat clicks.
Yeah, like the clicking and... yeah, the classic throat clicks. All that would have been, like, really cool to see in a theater.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, it felt just, like, underwhelming for me, at least.
The thing with this film is that I don't understand... It's almost... good enough to be taken seriously, but not quite, and it's too serious to be taken as a joke.
That's a great way. Yeah.
You know, because a lot of like slasher type films are great to watch like in a group while you're like drinking.
Yeah.
This would not, because the first half is like so slow.
Yeah.
You'd all be asleep by the time you got to the Predator.
Well, that's why I feel like it would be a great theater movie. I feel like that pace works a lot better when you're in a theater. And it's a damn shame this was like a Hulu film. This is not, that doesn't feel like the place this movie should be. I just also feel like it should have been kind of like maybe longer, but not, should have been longer, but not slower. It feels like it all happened very, like, it just came and went. I don't know. I wanted a bit more out of this. I'm not going to lie.
I really think that the middle third of the film could have been replaced with like a completely different set of plot points, and it would have been a better film.
Yeah.
I really don't see why you needed the fight with the lion in the tree and then the bear. Like, obviously the bear is like a predator reveal, but I just mean the basic premise of those seemed like they were kind of pointless.
They were kind of pointless in the grand scheme of things. I liked...
They're like, yeah, well, sorry. You go.
The lion in the tree, I got a kick out of that. That was pretty good. The bear was silly. The bear, I was like...
The bear just looked so bad.
That's the point where I stopped taking the movie seriously.
Okay, here's the thing. I need your take on this.
Uh-oh.
Animated fur.
This is a bad example. This is when we take that video out and we... I get proud of it because I'm like, see? This is not...
I do make good
It's not
points.
great, yeah.
Yeah,
I forget. Was the Revenant bear a real bear?
I never saw the Revenant.
Okay, but you know about the iconic bear scene.
I know about the bear scene, but I don't remember anything about it.
I'm gonna look this up because I thought that was a fake. Oh, that was CGI. Now that, man, that's insane. Because that bear was a good, very real. That was a good bear.
And that was years ago.
That's a really well done bear. Yeah. That better won the effects. Anyway, and then he crawls into the carcass of the dead bear.
Now, I would like to say that I am absolutely against using real bears. So I'm glad they did CGI.
Definitely. Yeah.
It just was bad.
Right. Yeah. There was some tweet about it was Nope that was like they should have used a real monkey. The CGI monkey took us out. I'm like, did you miss the point of the movie?
Yeah.
What happens if they would have used a real monkey on set? But yeah. Probably shouldn't have used a real bear. That might have been rough.
Yeah, real quick though. What you just said a second ago was that the point of the film Nope was not to use real monkeys on film sets.
That's not not the main point of Nope, but that's a takeaway. I'll say that is a takeaway.
That's fair.
Where you're like, maybe we shouldn't have, or we should treat the animals with respect.
Yeah.
A lot of people are calling me out for the alien theory, by the way. A lot of people were like, "Nah."
Yeah, dude. Here's the thing, though. That is one of our best ever performing episodes on YouTube.
Is it really?
Yeah,
people wanted to hear that alien theory.
Yeah, and we didn't even say there was going to be a theory, so maybe people like word of mouth that listen to this crazy Karsten theory.
No, I thought I did maybe in my community post. I was like, I really hyped up the theory. I was like, I didn't get to talk about the theory in my video, so if you guys want to hear this, you should check out the podcast. And
dude, you gotta add some clickbait like that to every video.
I know. Well,
okay, wait. Can you come up with a theory for this?
I'll be like, I bring back my animated fur argument for this week's Prey.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? People like the theory in the comments of this, but yeah.
There you go. You were hard on yourself.
I think it's a good theory.
I'm not totally against it, I'll say. I'm not 100% on board, but
I was so
it's a valid theory.
Sure, that's what the movie was until I said the theory out loud, and now everyone's like, Yeah. And there's some holes in this theory. But anyway,
the main thing you have going for you is that there are aliens in the movie.
Right.
Because if there weren't, that theory would be stupid.
It would be ridiculous. That's why I'm like, it's not
a movie about
out
aliens.
of the realm.
So it's not like, we're not
out
living
of
in a real world
context
in this
to be like the monkey's an alien. People are like, what the hell are you talking about?
Like, dude, if you said that about MVP, most valuable primate, that'd be a terrible theory.
But
it's not an alien. This is just a chimp that's really good at hockey.
His ability to play sports, it would not be insane to assume maybe he's an alien.
I mean, he is extra good at hockey.
Yeah. I will say, I can confirm the Predator in this movie is definitely an alien.
I mean, if your theory was that it wasn't an alien,
that would be more interesting.
That would be interesting.
That should be my clickbait for this. Is like, I talk about why the Predator is not an alien in Prey.
and this is part of like the Alien franchise.
Yes, the Ridley Scott Alien franchise.
This is the one that's not about an alien.
Yeah, right.
Here's why. Here's my new theory. So, people will understand this now.
Yeah.
That was the aliens' home planet, and the Comanche tribe were the aliens to that planet. They flew in a spaceship.
True. That would actually make sense. Is like maybe. Anyway. That I don't know what else there's to say about Prey. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people that know a bit more about what they're talking about when it comes to some of the deeper meanings here. But I'm not the guy for this one.
Yeah, I want to say that upon learning it's an option, I would, if you haven't seen this film, I would recommend watching it in the Comanche version.
Yeah.
That sounds like it'd be a more interesting experience.
That does sound like an interesting experience. I can't believe that was.
If I ever watch it again, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. Well, what would you give Prey? It's a score.
2.5.
2.5. Wow, that's lower than I thought.
Yeah, it just
didn't do it for you.
It didn't lean into enough to be like a crazy slasher, and it also didn't lean in enough to be this, great dramatic piece of art that just happened to have an alien in it. It just was like in this weird middle ground where it wasn't explicitly fun and it wasn't explicitly good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was just like kind of good, kind of fun.
Right. I guess I'm not that far off. I'm leaning like 3.5 on this.
3.5 is pretty high though, so you must have liked this film.
I did. Well, that's the thing is like I was engaged. I was like, this is pretty entertaining.
Now
it just had a lot of like little tiny nitpicks.
I would like to say that I was so out of this film up until kind of the part where the Predator actually is like the main focus. Right. And then I was in it. Like the last, 40 minutes of the film I thought was actually really good. It's just the first, 50
takes
minutes
a bit
was
to get there.
Not for me.
Well, you can't win them all.
You can't.
I think that'll do for the movie today. Prey is available on Hulu in 2 different language options, as we've learned. And I would recommend you check it out. I think it's worth your time.
Yeah, I would again check it out in the Comanche version.
Yeah, true. And that's going to do for the movie. Let's get into questions for today, starting with some from the. Well, let me check the Patreon. But while I'm doing that, I'll start with one from the subreddit r/Carscast, and this one comes from Rashad the Reactor, and it's for you, Jeff. It's Jeff.
Oh, I'm ready.
Have you ever been publicly recognized for the podcast? Do you think you ever will be?
That's a actually really good question.
Yeah.
The answer is no. I have never been publicly recognized for the podcast, but I think I will be, and here's why. I'm going to TIFF.
Yep. Yeah. I was gonna say, I feel like it would happen at TIFF.
Yeah, and I'm gonna also be wearing the Carscast hat around.
Yeah.
And I also might be wearing the Carscast shirt around.
Now don't wear the
I'm not gonna be wearing the shirt around. I'm gonna buy one though, and I will wear it.
Right. Yeah.
Link in the description if you want your own Carscast shirt.
Oh yeah. I did you link it in the last episode?
I did.
Oh, I should check if I didn't check if we got
It was
any
not
sales.
a super high viewed episode.
Which one was it? Oh, Bullet Train. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
you know what? My theory on that is that we're bad at podcasting. No, my theory is people haven't seen the movie yet, so they don't want to watch that.
Yeah,
because it just came out.
If it makes you feel any better, or makes us feel it doesn't make me feel any better. But my video on my channel for Bullet Train is also ranked 10 out of 10 of my last few videos.
Yeah,
which is not a good thing.
Yeah, you should promote the podcast as like a pinned comment.
I should.
Video.
I cannot guarantee it'll bring in a lot because a lot of people
I'm thinking
are not
like
watching
7.
this video. But yes, it doesn't hurt.
Yeah. And if you're one of those 7, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah. But yeah. So you'll probably get recognized in TIFF. I'll be honest.
I hope so.
I think
actually I don't care that much, but it'll be like the first time it happens, I'll be like, oh yeah. And then after that, I don't think I'll care that much.
Definitely.
You love getting recognized, though. I've been around you getting recognized, I think, 3 times.
It's a hit or miss situation. Sometimes it's very nice. It has happened enough to where I don't really it's not a thing that I registers in my brain that much when it happens. Sometimes it's a little I don't feel like doing this right now. Mm-hmm. Other times it's a very pleasant experience.
Yeah. The thing is that there's kind of this unwritten rule where if someone recognizes you, they can say hi and then walk up and have a quick chat.
Yep.
But if they linger, then it becomes weird.
If they linger, it becomes weird.
Yeah. I would say 2 minutes is the normal time frame for someone who recognizes you.
Yeah. Have I ever told you? I told you about the most uncomfortable experience was when I was in line for a coat check after a concert, and we were in line. It was a very long line, and a guy came up to me and stood with me in line for the entire duration of the line.
Did he at least have a coat that he was getting?
I don't remember if he had to get a coat, but it was not fun.
Yeah, I'm just imagining him getting to the front of the line, and they're like, "Oh, what's your coat?" And he's like, "Oh, no, I'm good."
I know. Literally, I think that's maybe what happened. Anyway, that is that question. We do not have any Patreon this week. By the way,
it would be also would have been funny if he was like, "I'll have what he's having."
Takes my coat.
Line.
Yeah. This one comes from
my brother had his coat taken once.
Really?
And then he took some other guy's coat because they look similar.
Coat check.
Yeah.
Well, now, no. So that immediate at first I was like, oh, that's fine. But then I was like, well, he doesn't know that the coat that he took was the guy that took his coat. So
yeah, it could just be
could have just been another guy's
coat. Big
coat.
Madison, Wisconsin coat swap.
Yeah. And now this other guy who got his coat stolen by Jared now has to get another coat. This next one comes from Scary Cave Sounds, and it is question for both. If you could take out your brain and wash it, would you use hot or cold water?
Can we use lukewarm?
Yeah, I would use hot though.
Is lukewarm a normal word for people that speak English as a second language?
I'm not sure. I
Like when I said, I always think of that because we have a decent amount of people who it's their second language English when they listen. So I say a word sometimes where I'm like, does everyone know what this is? When I said joshing earlier, I don't know if that. Yeah.
If that
and like when I call you a jagoff all the time, that's like a Pittsburgh slang for idiot.
Hey, jagoff. Yeah. And
that is
like,
part of my actual vocabulary because my mom is from Pittsburgh.
That's
so I heard that a lot growing up because my mom kept calling me a jagoff. That's not why she did.
It's like your mom called you a jagoff.
It's like, come get your dinner, jagoff.
Yeah, I would do hot water. Cold water would hurt more. I would feel like.
Yeah, but hot water like
burns
is bad for some things. That's why like your washing machine has settings for hot or cold.
I don't know. I put brain freeze. You know.
Well, if it was frozen, it would be ice.
True.
Yeah, so they just smack your brain on a block of ice.
Yeah.
This is a crazy question, though.
This is a very crazy question.
I feel like cold.
Yeah. You go cold, I'll go hot. We'll report back.
But if it was an option, like room temperature water.
Yeah.
Or body temperature water, that's good.
Yeah.
We also don't even know what classifies as hot.
Well, that's what I'm saying is like if it's not that hot.
If it's like 100 degrees, that'd be perfect.
Yeah, exact. Yeah.
Like hot tub.
Hot tub.
Well, 100 degrees for a hot tub. Fahrenheit's pretty.
Right. That's pretty.
And I'm saying
cold.
In Fahrenheit again for the people that are not
right.
American.
Yeah.
100 is what, like 40 something?
Yeah. Speaking of hot, I really was looking forward to maybe experiencing like a Swedish sauna when I was in Sweden.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that mainly a Finnish thing?
Yes, but they definitely have them in Stockholm and Oslo.
For sure.
But I'm not sure if I feel like sauna's the right pronunciation.
Yeah, sauna is the correct pronunciation.
Sauna,
I just watched a documentary
on saunas.
They kept saying sauna.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it actually wasn't really a documentary. It was this old show that was a British show called Travel Man, where this guy who's like a comedian just takes like 2-day trips with random celebrities.
What's his name?
I forget what his name is, but this one was in Helsinki with Paul Rudd.
And they did a sauna.
Went to a sauna.
Yeah. Well, what I was saying was, I don't know if I should take a sauna with the monkeypox going around. And I don't know how bad it is in Sweden, but I'm like, I just don't want to.
Yeah.
That feels like a place to get it.
Yeah, Richard Ayoade?
Wait, Richard Ayoade. He did a movie, right? Oh, he did Submarine. Yeah, he did that movie Submarine. Which a lot of people love. It's got what's the band that does the soundtrack for it? It was fuck. This is gonna kill me. I know everybody at home who knows who it is like, you dumbass.
Yeah, he was in the IT Crowd, which I saw like 2 episodes of.
Gotcha. Featuring original music from Alex Turner. Okay. It's got an amazing
That's from Arctic
soundtrack.
Monkeys, right?
Yes, I think so. Great soundtrack, fine movie. Directed by Richard Ayoade. Travel Man. Let's see. This last one comes from Black Panther Dies, and I always love hearing about Carson's latest hobby: swimming, boxing, billiards, rock climbing. What's next? I saw
sauna.
This. Yeah, sauna
guy.
Yeah,
but you're gonna be the guy who like is not wearing any shorts and he's a towel, and then you open your legs really wide and everyone's uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well, that's the only way to do it. I'm
just imagining you going to a sauna in Stockholm and thinking everyone's going to be naked and no one is but you.
Did I ever tell you I took I used to be really into Sculpt. This is an old hobby. It's hot yoga at Core Power.
Interesting.
It's like a high intensity. It's like being in a sauna and you just do like yoga and like crazy exercises for like an hour in there, and it's very exhausting.
Probably smells great in there.
They definitely have to put a bunch of things in the air to make it not smell bad.
Like car air fresheners, like black ice.
Yeah, they just got a bunch of black ice. But I had a guest pass, so I took Nick, and I told Nick, I was like, it gets so hot in there, like all the guys, like you take your shirt off eventually because it's just so hot. And like 10 minutes in, I took my shirt off. Nobody else took their shirts off. And I felt like a fool. And Nick was like, no one takes their shirts off, do they? And I'm like, yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
It was embarrassing. Anyway, I don't have any new hobbies to share. I am still doing the rock climbing thing. I really messed
actually
up my
found a
shin
good hobby
today.
this time.
I know. I found a hobby that actually stuck. So that's, and I might go play billiards with Nick later tonight. So that's also still going around. The only one that really didn't stick was boxing.
Dude, I played billiards with my family when Jared was in town like a week ago. And
good?
no, we're all bad. But I had this one turn where I got like 5 balls in a row.
Boom. See?
And I was terrible the rest of the time, but I just felt like a billiards genius for like that 3-minute period.
Pool shark. That's crazy.
Yeah. Pool shark, don't say that in Florida. That's a real problem here.
We'll go play.
That's not a problem here.
Yeah, it's offensive. We should play billiards in Toronto or something.
We should if we can.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, like, after we record real quick, where I ended up, because I bought my flight and like accommodation.
Yeah.
Now here's from Tampa. Okay, because you know how I travel as cheaply as possible. Mm-hmm. Hotel prices in Toronto are the most insane thing I have ever seen in my life.
It's bad.
There were some hotels where one night was $1,500.
Yeah. Well, that's for like, I don't know if it's just because the festival's around that time, if like big people are staying at these hotels, but
I've also heard this summer has just been like that everywhere because everyone's traveling.
Yeah.
But anyways, I had to split it between 2 different places.
Okay.
But anyways, here's the deal I got. From Tampa to Toronto, 6 nights, and going back, $780.
Dog, that's crazy. You are like a master with the budgets. That's insane. I want to see where you're staying.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I'm pretty confident that the first 2 nights, I'm staying above a strip club.
Yeah. Nice. Getting the Toronto culture.
Yeah, Toronto culture.
Yeah. Well, that'll be exciting. This and that does it for questions. We will get into the wrap up then. Starting by announcing next week's movie, which will be We Met in Virtual Reality.
In virtual reality. We don't say this a lot, but we met in virtual reality.
We did. Not a lot of people know
I was
this
a
about
raccoon
us.
avatar, and you were like some kind of Superman knockoff.
Oh, I was gonna say I was like an anime girl. I was one of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I've started watching the first 10 minutes of this documentary. Everyone's like an anime girl in this.
Yeah. Wasn't
universe.
Okay, I am now vaguely remembering. There was like this issue where all these people were being this one character. It was like from Sonic the Hedgehog. Like, was it Knuckles?
It might have been Knuckles. Yeah,
I think everyone was being Knuckles, and it was like a big problem where it was like groups of people were mobbing people as Knuckles.
That's so funny.
And, like harassing them,
mobbing Tails in Sonic. That's funny. Yeah, it's it looks like a very interesting documentary made entirely in VR during the pandemic. So
yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm
very intrigued. We no rehearsal update this week because it is premiering in 1 minute where I am.
Yeah,
like
good point.
In exactly
next episode.
Next episode.
Wait, but next episode's gonna be. Oh man, there's gonna be 2 out by then.
You're right. Damn. Well,
we really. I love we're like we're gonna introduce a new segment and then we totally messed it up.
Got messed up. Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll do it. Anyway, that's the next movie. And next, we like to read a review to encourage you guys to leave reviews because we love to hear what you have to say about the podcast
I
that we make.
especially do.
Yes, it's very. Jeff looks forward to this every episode.
And I don't even know what the review is because Karsten's the one who reads them.
This is a long one, so strap in. It comes from Joa Faria from Canada. We're going to be there. And it reads, 5 stars, I love to watch the podcast. And it goes, conversational podcasts where the hosts never talk about the main topic have always been my favorite. The Carscast perfectly meets this criteria. Karsten and Jeff have amazing chemistry, and I love their banter, even when they talk about sports for half an hour, which I have no interest in outside of this podcast. I started around the 50-episode mark and have went back and watched every episode. Call me a boomer, but I think in an effort to be more professional, the Carscast has lost a few of my favorite aspects as it has went on. I loved Meme of the Week, the old theme song from episode 50, the recommendations, and the time of day ratings. Please consider bringing these back, as they were truly unique and made the podcast even more memorable. This podcast has pointed me in the way of many of my new favorite movies, including Kazam, Guns Akimbo, Tom and Jerry, and Osmosis Jones.
Excellent taste.
Yes, you truly picked the best movies we've talked about. I've also learned plenty of useful facts from this podcast, like how tomorrow is yesterday 2 days from now, which is a 15 days in the future of the day which yesterday would be June, at which point it is winter in Australia. Also, Patreon supporters, please keep up making Karsten say the funny. God bless both of you and the United States of America. Catch you on the flip side, ... flip side.
That's a tremendous review.
That is truly one of the best reviews. And we, as far as like some of these meme of the week, the thing about our highly requested meme of the week segment is it spawned just the worst memes I've ever seen in my life.
Pretty much, we would go on the Reddit and then we would scroll through like 5 minutes straight of us being deep faked onto Britney Spears.
It was traumatizing, and
yeah,
I don't know if I can return to that.
It's also very funny that meme of the week kind of died shortly after we went to video when people actually could have seen the memes.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
We just used to describe them.
Right. We would just describe them in audio. But it would bring people to the Reddit.
Yeah.
Which the
I
Reddit...
really need to look into how to make Spotify also have the video, because that's possible.
Right, I know. That's
Jared on his Formula One podcast, Formula Bone, if anyone's interested in a Formula One podcast. Yeah, he has the video on Spotify.
Yeah, I always assumed it would be really complicated to set up, but apparently it's not that hard.
Yeah, if Jared could do it, it's pretty easy.
Exactly. And to address the old theme song from episode 50, I have gone back, like looking back at it, I've hated all the theme songs I've made for this podcast besides the one we currently have. The one we currently have is my favorite one, and I don't see me switching it. I'm like, this is the one that gets the vibe of the podcast.
No, I really like the vibe that your theme song creates. But when you said I don't see switching it, as I'm now the one who edits them, you never know.
You could truly, yeah. Jeff could sneak in a new theme song, and I would never know.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe I'll go back and listen to some of these episodes.
I haven't done it yet, but
yeah,
one day.
The recommendations and the time of day ratings, those may come back. Just keep those ears open. They might.
Do you want to give a quick time of day for Prey?
Time of day for Prey, I would say like a 1 p.m., like middle of the day. I don't think it's. If you're just watching it at home, right? I mean,
I think I disagree.
You would think it's a later night movie?
Yeah. I don't think too late because you'll fall asleep in the first half.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
But so maybe you started at like 8:30.
I like 8:30 as a that you know what
nice after dinner.
That's a much better. Have a beer with it, you know.
Yeah.
Kick back, relax. Yeah. And that does it for the review. And lastly, we want to thank the patrons over at patreon.com/Carscast.
Karsten keeps trying to cancel this segment too, and I said, no, Karsten, I love the patrons.
No, you can't. Yeah. They pay for this part. You can't cut this part. It's one of the perks. To some people, the only reason they become a patron is to get their name read. And
by Karsten Rundquist and his elegant voice.
Want me to read the funny. Thank you. Oh, well, if you want to become a patron, go to patreon.com/Carscast. Tons of cool perks over there. Zoom hangouts every month. Bonus episodes twice a month.
2 of those. We just released one, or did we? We recorded one.
I need to upload it tonight. Yeah. And more things. Like more cool perks. Like shout outs
perks.
at the end of every episode, which I'm about to do right now. Thank you. Alex Thomas, Anson Contreras, Belly, Big Beard Pirate, Boinks, Camilla, Coop, David Borslow, David Sir, Eden, Finn Richardson, Goodnight Tail, Grant Gow, Jacob Meyer, The, John Van Hout, Jordan Peele directing a rom-com, Joshua Hughes, KDT, let's change the Google search results for PTA, Leah Butriago, Ramirez Tamayo, Levin, thank you for talking about therapy, Liv Rob, Lukewarm, Maddie Robertson. Someone's name is Lukewarm. Just saying. Martin Deff, Marilee Borslow, Meridian, Monroe Page, Noah Wooten, Owen Felton, Queen of Staten Island, Rakakuni, Riley Ost, Ryan M, Sean Kenny showed his dad Runner by Alex G and thought it was decent. Stella Perry, Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, Minnie Werben, Jagerman Jensen, Taylor Smiley Face, the Raccoon from Airborne 7th Inning Fetch, Vegard Strom, Wes Kinley, Wiley Todd, Yusef A, and Zoe Hernandez McDonald. Boom.
I'm glad that the dads are getting into Alex G.
They
or at
gotta
least saying it's okay.
Yeah. I feel like the dads, it's an easy rec. Rec for the dads, especially Runner. I feel like that's a
it's a pretty approachable one. I would say the most recent one, which I'm blanking on the name.
Bit more. Cross the Sea.
Yeah, Cross the Sea. That's a little bit more of an acquired taste.
Yeah, and his first single, Blessing, is definitely not a easy rec. I feel like that one's weird. But anyway, thank you guys for another great episode. Thank you.
This was a really fun one.
This was one of our better episodes. I'm gonna be honest. I like this one. Anything else to say?
I don't want to ruin it, so I'm just gonna say catch you on the flip side.
Catch you on the flip side.
Flip side.